Oh, and we are alive. Alive or live, or both. Okay, excellent. Oh, there's already a few people on here. How are you doing? Everybody chatting away there. All right. Okay, so the if anybody let's have a look. I think I'm connected to everything. Yeah, I think I am. Last time it was only getting it. Are you okay? Is everyone give me a thumbs up or anything in the chat if you can hear everything fine. Let me know that it's all working. Loud and clear. Awesome. Awesome. All right, couple of minutes to go. We'll get everyone in. Hi there, D. Oh, I've got a fly on there. Get off. Doesn't even want to leave. Go away. Ooh. Hello there. Remember, hi Diver, how are you doing? And Little Pipsqueak and Dorian and Jay. Get off, man. Bloody fly flying around. What an annoyance. Oh. Go on. I think it might have. Hi, Diane. Good to see everybody on here. And Joyce, all good? Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Good. Glad you can hear it. I was just on here last night. I was just doing like the members meeting. It's still here, that fly. Seems strange coming. Hey, John. Back on straight away. But all good. Oh, let's see. Oh, got some new toys I'm playing with. I'm going to show everybody soon. 40 people on. Wow. Hope you're all doing good on this lovely Friday evening. Hiya. What's that say? I haven't got my glasses on. Is that an ornocalite? Something like that. I can't see it. Hello, K47A. You. All right then. So I've got a link in the bio. All right. So or the description. Link in the bio. God. The link in the description for a book we're going to be talking about. Well, not really talking about the book, but talking about the whole thing around. Yeah, it's a jumper. Janine bought me a jumper. Yeah, it's got a hood on. Has got a hood, but it's a nice woolly jumper. Hiya, Barbara. Oh, you got the link then? Oh no, that's not a link. Did you get the link for yesterday, Barbara? I meant to actually send it separately in a message, but Becky Humber. Hiya, Becky Humber. And there's Aisha, I suppose. Aisha. There's Pauline. All right, it's building up. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes then before we start talking about anything too in-depth or serious, because there's loads of people just popping on now. Hiya, Ella and Kelly. So, we'll just give it a couple of minutes. It's only just turned past there anyway, 32. I wonder if you have to buy more of these. I'll show you them in a minute. Hey, Imogen and Jet Jai. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. Jeanette, all right, I'm glad you enjoy it. You're rehearsing for Panto. All right. Oh, yes. Oh, you're going to be the donkey. Are you the donkey? Are you? One of them. I can't remember any names of them. Truss has committed high treason. I think they've all committed high treason, haven't they? It's been Oh, no, you're not. Exactly. Oh, that's what I should have said, wasn't it? Oh, no, you're not. Yeah. Hello there. Remember on, the Facebook ones, if you're coming in with Facebook, unless you put your, I don't know how to do it because I know I've been on it before, but Lester the Jester, not the donkey. All right, okay. I was thinking of Shrek when I said the donkey. All right, so I'll have to have a look for what the venue is in Bolton. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Never actually looked. Tell you what, give us a second. I'll go and have a quick check on the files here because it was just on here before. I think that's it there, I think. All right. So it's the Astley Bridge Legion Club in Bolton, BL17AG. Okay. So the if you want to get a ticket, you can get it from the email, which is purehealthretreat@gmail.com. purehealthretreat@gmail.com. All one word there. They do the tickets via the email, and it's on at 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. and that's on Saturday, the 22nd of October, 2 weeks tomorrow, I do believe that, isn't it? And again, it's Astley Bridge Legion Club, BL17AG in Bolton. So there we go. Right, where have I gone now then? Oh, there we am. Back in here. All right. Okay then. So what did I miss? Since I was away, Tony Martin Davison and Econ Lee. Hello, how are you doing? Customs keep hitting you for tax, Dorian. What's tax? I don't know what that means. Passion quench. Cheers. Yes, cheers. Cheers. Hot work, thirsty work. Amy, hi Amy, and there's Claire Dodd and another Facebook user, Evening. Just starting, Jack. Just starting. Okay, there's Lulu Freedom coming on. Okay. All right. It's been like 6 minutes now, so let's crack it on then. Okay. I am very good, Dee. Thank you very much. And you are more than welcome. So there's a link, like I said before, in the description, and it's for a book by a guy. Hopefully you'll have heard of him anyway. David Edelman calls himself the People's Lawyer. He's got his channel. I think it's the People's Lawyer channel. I think that's what it's called. Good guy. I met him down in Birmingham. Very nice guy. He's got a lot of good information. He does some good courses. I've always wanted to go on one. I've never had the time. I will. I want to. I don't want to. I want to go and do it. And be in there with him when he's doing a live one. I know that Pete Stone went and done one with him. I want to go down to Pete Stone's as well. And it's just getting the time to do it. When I have to get away and travel, and it's pretty difficult when I've got everything going on here. You're on David's course, Claire, as in, he does a live one online, doesn't he? He does one of them, and then also hello Andrew, but he and then he does when he goes to an event, like I'm going down to Bolton, he does that as well, and he goes. I don't know if he does a course when he goes to the events, but yeah, I really would love to go along. I'm still doing a lot on the trusts, on the courses, and I keep doing it, and I always talk to my good friend Darren as well. Now I know he's incredibly busy, and it's like, but he's a wealth of knowledge, absolutely the wealth of knowledge, Yes, John, I have no idea what tax is. I've not got a clue, but Oh, good. Paddy went to King's Langley event. That's good. That's down. That was down near London. Wasn't it about 25 minutes out of London? I had to go down to London and then get the train from Euston, I think it was, into King's Langley. Good day from Freedom Warriors. Good day to you, Lone Wolf. All right. Hope you're doing good. Okay. Yeah. So, like I say, we used to run a kickboxing class for home educated kids. We used to do it. I can't remember now. I think it was on a Monday morning, and it was very busy. And these kids, like a lot of them, had been homeschooling for years. They weren't just doing it because of the new thing that had happened in Charlie, and all of the ridiculous things that these schools have done to children because of Charlie. Ella is saying about the book. Are you on about the book? I'm saying about David's book. I think it's I've got the description and a link for you to buy it. I'm sure there's a link for to buy it, and it's called something like School No Place for Children or something like that. All right. Now I don't know. I haven't got a chance to read it yet. I've literally just thought, right, I want to be getting his word out, and getting people to go over. It's on Amazon, so you can go there. There's a link down below, so you can go straight to Amazon and buy the book there. And it must be all about home education and not being in school, because he seems to be very up for home education. And we used to, like I say, we used to teach these kids a kickboxing class, and it was just more like really physical energy, so something like that in it. Schools, no place or no playground for children, or no place for children, something like that. It's in the description anyway, the link. But we used to have a lot of kids come in of all ages. We didn't try and separate ages. There were just like really little kids in, and hiya, Mr. Shiny, and older kids in, and they all got on great together. And it was more like a PE class, lots of running around and exercising and everything like that. All the parents loved it, and the kids being there, and all the kids loved it as well. But when I was talking to them, they were all very busy. They had lots and lots of different events all the way through the week. They went to all of these different classes and clubs, if you want to call them clubs. Ours was the only really physical one, which was really good. That's, so it was like they were getting their PE really. All right, okay. I don't think that David Edelman does foot massages for people. I don't know, mate, but no, maybe, I don't know. A different one, maybe. Yeah. But the thing is, all these kids loved going there, and they were all of different ages, and they were all getting educated in their different ways. Now they were all on different programs as well. Some of them could get these programs that were available online, and it kept up with the curriculum. But there's no need to stick to a certain curriculum or anything like that. So I suggest everybody gets a hold of David's book. It's going to help David anyway. Get him some sales on Amazon, and then if you get a chance, go over to his channel. He's got some information on the channel as well about the home education. But a lot of times we actually had kids training with us, and the parents for years and years, and then the parents wanted them to get out of the school because they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't get any juice, and they wouldn't wear masks and anything like that. And they used to get picked on, and I mean bullied, horrendously bullied by the teachers. And I think we can't say all teachers, because I actually met a teacher down in Preston when we were helping with Dr. Warren Lee, who is he runs the Legal Cafe, and he helps you know, people like that. And he's trying to set up a union where they actually go and represent these workers that were getting hassle and grief for not following the narrative. So, you know, there is some lovely people in every walk of life, as well as the horrendous people. So we can't, like, you know, tar all the teachers with the same brush, but it's just, you know, the ridiculous things that they were making the kids do anyway, right? And now when you're looking at, I don't think you get an education now. I think you get, I know it's always been indoctrination, but now I think it's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. And all of this gender stuff that they're forcing down kids' throats, you know. I mean, I remember going to school and there was nothing like that whatsoever. And, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But I just think it's absolutely disgusting. You know, it's absolutely crazy. I was always in trouble, always in trouble at school. And they used to be able to belt us then. So they had leather whips, you know. So, but it's just, I think in a lot of ways, obviously, if people were a little bit worried about things, then they try and be good so they didn't get whipped with a leather belt, but it just made me worse. You know what I mean? So it just that made me want to, like, you know, be even naughtier and do whatever I wanted. And it didn't work that way very well. But, you know, they were like quite nasty in the school that I went to. It was a Catholic school as well. But, you know, the thing is, like, I've got my, you know, PMA, right, which is my PMA, comes under, like, the, on the website, claimyourstrawman.com, and you can get off me now and bloody fly everywhere. And, you know, the, on the PMA, then it's actually a faith-based ministry, right? So I have my own ministry, and that it's a faith in nature and nature's creator. So we are under the creator. That's what we look at. I'm not trying to, you know, you can call it what you want. You can call it, you know, God if you wanted to, Allah, you know, Buddha. All right, there we go. Okay, Big Bob, doesn't matter, right? But I just like to say it might be a CIA spying on me. This fly is coming and dive bombing me. And, you know, but it's just a faith in nature and nature's creator. That's what our faith is, you know. And I know for a fact that nature says that there's a man and there's a woman. They can get together and they can actually have sex. And from there, they can actually have a new life being born. Right? You don't have to start chopping bits of bodies off and sticking them on somewhere else. That is not natural. That is not real. And there is two genders. There is a man and there's a woman. Now, you can call yourself what you like, and I don't care. You can do and think and say whatever you like, as long as you're not harming anyone else, harming or causing loss. Then fair enough, do what you want. Okay, but oh. Teachers used to be experts at low-flying wooden board dusters. Had there been an Olympics sport, then my physics teacher would have won a gold medal. Yeah, I got hit with one of them once, but I must admit I picked the chair up and threw it at the teacher who threw that at me. So that didn't go down too well. But that's the type of things that we used to get up to. But that is another reason why I think that home education would be a really good thing. Now, not everyone has the time, is the thing. That it's just an unfortunate thing that life is going to get in the way, and people have to go out and earn a living, you know, and stuff like that. But and it is what it is. It's a pity we couldn't have more kind of like home jobs. They showed you they could do it, didn't they, by locking everybody in for a couple of years. But it's obviously got a lot. John Smith, he used to get the cane. I used to get the cane at one school where they had, like, literally it was a bamboo stick. And but the leather belts, they had different leather belts. All right, that one of them had, and it said it was a leather belt, but it was like a lump of wood. It was about like that long, all right, about that thick, about that wide. And they used to make you sit in a chair like this and put your arm out, and then they would jump up in the air and smack. And loads of times they would hit you like across the wrist, you know, instead of hitting on the hand. I don't think they do it on purpose. Truly do. They used to have a book and they used to brag about it and who could belt the most kids in a week, you know, and then in a month and so on and so on. But oh yeah, but good old fun days then. You know, people saying, "Oh, I had my best years of like my life were at school." Mine weren't. I hated it. And Janine just never bothered going at all. So she was all right. She was busy just doing whatever she wanted. Yeah, it's like I think, you know, they do now. I think they're pushing and they're trying to bring out all of these what they're calling them the acts and statutes, and it's going to come in with like, you know, I don't know what it is, Education Act, the Homeschool Act. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's called. I don't really pay much attention, you know, to what they're trying to do because they're just trying to lie anyway. All right. So the thing is, and I was asked to, you know, say some stuff to this group that wanted a solution. They wanted a solution. To running, I suppose, a school, but they were worried, you know. And the thing is, what you can't do, and what we're doing now, and what we're showing, and David Edelman as well. You know, it's great when you listen to him talk. You know, so you know, so you can't be living in fear. Now, if you look at my links as well, you don't have to go and get anything. But if you look at my links, there's also, I think they call it the Sovereign's Way. And it's a course on there. And a lot of it is about psychology. And it's trying to reverse, right, what they've been doing all the way through school, right, which is the indoctrination of making everybody, like, you know, literally bow down, all right, do what you're told, stand in a line, sit down. They used to make us stand out in the rain, right? Stand out in the rain. I used to get kicked out of many classes. But, yeah, it was all good fun. So, you know, I never really gave much thought about schooling. I could read, I could write. In reality, if you were in school, okay, fair enough, it can maybe help you read and write. All right, that's going to help you. And then all you got to do is have a little bit of like adding up. You don't have to try and do these, you know, X plus Y makes Z. That makes no sense whatsoever. None of it. Algebra was just like ridiculous. You know, fractions, I suppose, could be helpful. But, you know, reading and writing, and then teach people sort of like, or the children. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to try and find out where you can go and get food from. What are all the plants that you can eat, and what are all the plants you can't eat and you shouldn't touch? That is an education. That is what like parents should get them to know, and they should actually be at home educating the children on all of the foraging that they could do. Okay. What the plants are safe, what plants aren't safe, what are good for health, and also what's good for healing. Because, you know, we survived for like thousands upon thousands of years before Rockefeller decided to make everything like chemical, you know, before they decided to make it all, you know, like the pharmaceutical companies. And he had all the oil as well. So, I mean, all they did was make the oil into medicine. You know, snake oil. So, you know, so that's what that's an education, right? What's safe to eat, what's not safe to eat, all the plants you can go foraging for. You'd never starve, right? You never would. You can actually, which seaweeds can you actually go down to the shore and pick? A lot of them are edible, not all of them, but a lot of them are edible. I want to go on one of them courses actually, because we live right there. There's tons of rocks and tons of seaweed. And Will came up here and he was showing me that's edible. You know, I didn't know which one he was pointing at because we're on above it, and there was like dozens of different ones. But that's an education that's worth having. Okay, and then you educate then, you know, how to get clean water and be able to actually create your own fresh water, you know, that you can drink, I mean, without poisoning yourself. Because when we lived in Spain, right, the last part we lived in a villa in the middle of nowhere, and the only water that we had was out of a well, okay? But that might sound romantic and everything, but I'm telling you, you used to get a shower and come out and smell worse than before you went in. If you'd have drank it, you'd have been dead in a week. You know, the smell was ridiculous. The only thing it was good for was we filled up the pool with it, but then you've got like loads of these like acids and everything like that you put in the pool. Sounds terrible, but I think it's very similar to the stuff that you can drink. you know. The water looks yellow. This one looked green. Like the well come running down. We didn't need a pump or anything, and it was horrible. But anyway, you know, that's what you make it so that they can show them methods and ways of being off grid, so they can actually be able to have water, get clean water to drink. Yes, and also how to grow food. Exactly, how to grow food and get rid of that fake grass. You're absolutely right. I totally agree. I hate seeing that. You're walking around and people's gardens, you know, we're taking the dogs out and they've got like bright green, perfectly cut. It's a carpet. It's a carpet in the front garden or something. You're thinking that this is nuts. How can that be any good? You know, so like teaching the children how to actually grow food and when to plant, and also because you know I think we've got the fruit trees out there, right? This year we got about 5 strawberries. We got 2 of them to eat ourselves, which were like, you know, about the size of a pea. The birds at the others. We got like 2 peppers, you know, like red Capiscan peppers, and we've got now about that big a cucumber growing. Okay, but and what I tried twice now, I've tried to grow mushrooms, just normal mushrooms. I'm not into like, you know, seeing hallucinations. So, you know, I just want to be able to grow mushrooms because they're supposed to be so easy to grow. So I've bought 2 kits to experiment with, and neither of them have worked. So I really want to grow in and get into more about growing mushrooms, because there's so much good things that you can actually have with mushrooms as well. Oh, where's that going? Yeah. Yeah, so I've never heard of that, Scott, about the trivium method of learning. Okay, good. You know, take kids into the woods, hang on, yeah, and teach them how to build a den. Yeah, you know what is, but we used to build dens all the time. You know, everybody had the dens, and you know, and but also yeah, teaching them how to build a shelter so it's going to keep them warm. All right, all you got to do, if you in reality to live, right, grow food and eat food, know where you can actually go and forage for food, keep yourself warm and dry, and have fresh water. You don't need anything else. You do not need to do anything else. So you know, the flies what? Oh, it's gone in. It's gone into Exeter. Well, that's a hell of a fast fly, that one. The Soldier's Field Handbook, Martin. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to check that one out. The Soldier's Field Handbook. We should all go and have a look at that. So does that help with foraging and stuff like that? We used to get what they call ship's biscuits on the ration packs. You know, which you could literally probably smash someone up like unconscious over the head with these biscuits were called. You know, we used to get all these ration packs and how to turn the salt water into drinkable water if you ever got stuck on a lifeboat, you know. Gardening used to be part of the curriculum. Now it's how to be a ladyboy. Yeah, that's right. And vice versa as well. But yeah, they should be teaching them how to grow food, right? And that's it. Now, in reality, I was talking about this a while ago as well. We used to walk along the railway lines, you know, on the other side, not on the lines, although I used to do that as well. But right, there would always be like tons and tons of blackberry bushes or redberry bushes all growing, and you used to go along, and they'd call it like in October, they'd call it Blackberry Week, and they'd have half term, and then you would spend all that time, you know, picking all of the blackberries, you know, and then everybody would like be, you know, making like the blackberry jam and the blackberry juice and everything. And you know, I can even remember, I never ever did it because I never got a chance to do it. But all my older brothers and sisters used to go and what they call tetty picking the potatoes in the fields. So when the potatoes were ready to be picked, they would go up and work. You know what I mean? Picking the potatoes up, keep them cold and damp. Yeah, well, that's what I was supposed to do, John. But like this, these packs that I got when I had a book to read and like do this and that, but they were horrible when they come. I think they were dead. And there's is it mycelium? Am I saying that correct? Does anybody know? So if you're trying to grow mushrooms, you need mycelium, and from the mycelium, the mushrooms grow. Is that right? Yeah, magic glasses. Yeah, a magic glass anyway. All right. So like as soon as you finish, can you remember like reading a book? I can't remember what it was. It was like the magic bowl, and they would eat the porridge, and then it filled itself up again. So we've got one. We've got a magic glass, and it just keeps filling itself back up. You know, I grew a lion's mane. Right? Do you know what it is? And I've just had to send another letter off to the court. Not the court. The what do you call it again? The Ministry of Justice, right? And I had growing this lion's mane, big furry like mushroom. And then when we had all of like our let's just say our adventure with Eon and the bailiffs and the police and the dog handlers and everything like that, and it got knocked over, you know. But I'm gonna do it again. You know, I don't eat cheese or bacon actually. But I did definitely grew a lion's mane, but I didn't get a chance to eat it at all. Decent, that's right. What, the mycelium? The mycelium, you need the mycelium? Yeah, it is. I see me. So I'm getting there and I'm trying to learn. I really want to grow mushrooms. I like mushrooms. I've always liked mushrooms. So but I've just got this fancy for actually making them. And I think, right, if nothing else, that you know, if you could just live off mushrooms, then you'd be all right. Because apparently, mycelium. Okay, mycelium. All right, but at least I had the word right. For healing, what's so good for healing? Mycelium, or mushrooms. I'm not on about magic ones or anything. I'm just talking about, you know, mycelium and the original. Right. Okay, so that's how all the trees and everything's connected. Loads of vids on growing on mushrooms. Yeah, I really want to do that. You know, I will get time, you know, but what I have been doing is like a lot of studying on trusts and everything, you know, and I've just done another trust today, actually. I posted a couple out just the other day. So this is what we post out. You know, we've got these big packs here, right? You zip it up, look. So you've got the zip and it zips it up and then you can open it up and I keep all the documents in there. So we actually send them out when we do our private trusts. And then when we send out as well, we also have like a separate envelope as well, right? And we send out, and in here has got the documents that have got the tracking numbers inside, all the Royal Mail tracking numbers, because we buy it first. That's what that is. And stick it on so that all the documents actually have the certificates of trust creation and that they're all inside the document. So we express it by posting it to you, and you sign for it, and that's your private trust creation. But yeah, I definitely want to not learn. Yeah. But that anyway, so like about the mushrooms as well, that would be good, Martin. Yeah, like so that's basically just means mushrooms, does it? Right, well, there you go. But really, you know, about learning how to what you can eat, what you can't eat. You know, go into the woods and into the forest, Barbara, and learn you know, about like all the different, but you know, they should have a lot more fruit trees. You know, we should all go out sneaking out and in the nighttime into the forests and be planting fruit trees, because like there's pointless having all of these trees like sitting there and all these bushes and there's nothing growing on it but leaves. And I know a lot of people said, you know, that you know, you can actually eat a lot of these things anyway. When I did a video about what trees were there. See, I don't know enough about what trees is where and what they are and if I can eat them or not. You know, eat the trees. I bet they'd be quite tough to eat, wouldn't the trees? But and that's the way I think the kids should be educated. And once you've actually got that, and then a little bit of reading, writing, count up to 10, and then you know, you're about done, really. Yeah, Lee, I've heard of that. The phantom planter, yeah, the phantom planter, and go around planting trees. Yeah, but we need to go out and start planting. You know, much more. fruit trees are all over the place. And we need to know as well, like the mushrooms, because we got a field here and we walk past with the dogs and it's covered in mushrooms or toadstools. And I all wonder, can you eat them or not? I have no idea, The grilled bears, yeah. Going to plant fruit trees yeah, we planted them, but in the garden. We've got one of them planted with next to Beauty in the garden. Poor thing. Ooh, swapping meat. I don't eat meat anyway, right? Or I don't now, but I certainly don't want to start eating insects either. But I'm not bothered, and I don't sort of like preach or anything like that, and I don't need any craziness from anybody else. People get like so triggered when you say things. Well, I don't eat meat, and it's like, oh, don't preach to me. And hang on, nobody said anything. But and the thing is, right? People just they start getting carried away. All right, I was born in a butcher shop, right? We lived in a butcher shop. My dad was a butcher. I used to spend my summer holidays, quite some of them, if I wasn't up in Scotland. I used to go up to Scotland, get dropped off up in Scotland. A lot of summer holidays. But then a lot of times I would be with my dad, right, at the slaughterhouse, because he used to run the slaughterhouses. He was one of the biggest meat buyers in Britain at the time. And I had this huge, big warehouse where they had all the slaughterhouses right next to where they used to build the tanks, right? Armstrong and Vickers tank builders in Newcastle. So, and I know all about the meat produce. Hey, Joan from Canada, good to see you. Yeah. So, he was a butcher right the way up until he retired. And obviously with the way it was, I mean, we were living in a butcher shop. There was no heating. It was like they only had the Arga, which now is like kind of a luxury thing now to have, but that was the only place in the whole house that was warm. So everybody would run down into the kitchen, be inside like the scullery, if that you want to call it, because the Arga would be there, and it's the only place in the whole house that was warm, But when it was a butcher shop, and at the front, it was a butcher shop, So and then he moved the shop around the corner into the town, and then he got this huge big, he was the manager then, and he got this massive warehouse, and it was just doing all the slaughtering. And I used to go up sometimes and watch them and do it all, and so I've seen a lot of it, and I know exactly how it all works. So but I don't eat it now, and I've never touched dairy for around 30 years, right? Milk or dairy or anything like that. And that was just, I read a report on dairy, and I've never touched it ever since. It was about 30 years ago, but everyone can do what they like, it's I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. Not my job to tell anybody what to do whatsoever. But yak, not for me. But anyway, forgotten what we're supposed to be talking about. But the reason why I was talking about like the education as well, if anybody wants, even if you just want to do it on your own and you want to homeschool your children, I guarantee you, you're going to get grief. So what I would say that you should do, right, is have a PMA. Okay. Now you can just have a PMA just for you, just for your home. And on the PMA, Private Members Association, and it's all in there. And then, you can run the PMA, Private Members Association. Now, somebody sent me an email. I can't remember where it was from, but someone's opened up this new bill. It looks like a factory, and they're turning it into a school. Now, listen, you can have any kind of education facility. Now, the people who I made my own documents, I'm set up my own PMA documents, right? But I've done loads of different courses, but I wanted to see what these other people's documents were like, right? Now, this guy's called David Edwards. You can Google him, research him. And he was a judge in the United States. and he's an expert on PMAs, expert on privacy. So I bought their documents. Cost £2,500 for these documents. But when I was speaking to them about it, and we're doing it on Zoom and everything, obviously, and they're in New York, and they were running a school, and it was a private education association, a PEA, but it's still a PMA, and it's all faith-based. And they were like very adamant, yes, it's like faith, we're not having all of this gender nonsense coming into our schools. And they stayed open in New York, by the way, right? They never shut for one day through all the nonsense when everything got shut down and everyone was getting arrested, and what I learned there as well is that because they were a faith-based ministry that had it set up correctly, okay, so that they didn't get touched. They did not get bothered one little bit. Now, I know that people saw these churches, for instance, that were getting raided and dragging the people out, and you're not allowed to have a mass or pray or whatever it is that they do. So but that's because these churches that did that, you would think, well, they are like private as well, but they've all signed up for tax benefits. So once they've signed up for tax benefits, then you have to do what you're told. All right. So that's why I actually went along and got their documents, and then I just compared them with mine, and I made them more UK based, okay, for me. So obviously, all right. So if you're going to do any kind of home education, if you're going to do it on your own, you can do a PMA. If you're going to do it with other people, you definitely want to have it on a PMA and make it private, and then ignore anyone that's coming up to try and give you hassle. Because when they're coming up, these people they can only come up and talk about acts and statutes. All right. Well, we are man and woman. All right. That is what we are. So we're dealing with each other as a man and a woman. We do not come under acts and statutes. You can only come under an act and a statute if you agree with it, if you consent to it. And we're not consenting to it. So, you can actually, I don't know what the book actually says about the acts and statutes, but I know for a fact, if you listen to David, he's very much similar to myself. He will not put up with acts and statutes, and yeah, exactly. Policy free. That's what we are. These people are only talking about policy. So what's the name of that guy? I went down to Birmingham, and I was talking there with Darren as well. I did a little bit of talk on trusts. He likes to sit in the background. He doesn't like to do anything public, Darren. But he was there, and also trying to think of her name. She was there, and she's recently done an interview with Ian Stewart, I do believe he's called, and he explains very well about the acts and statutes, okay, and also about the how ever since 1973, was it the 1st of January 1973, when what's his name? Who was the Prime Minister? Hideous paedophile. Edward Heath. Yeah. Edward Heath. And he signed us over into the EEC, the European Economic Community. So what they did then, is they actually committed treason. They deposed the monarch, the Queen, but not that we care about her, but that's not the point. She got a different title, and they've never, ever been a proper act or statute that could be passed ever since. So anything that, that they were actually saying at all coming to about the schools, or they've got the Education Act, or the homeschooling, any of that. All right. The word act itself, act, because you're acting, because it's not real. All right. It's a pile of nonsense. Okay. Yeah. Or you would, if you wanted to act, Jay says he would have went to Hollywood or RADA. Isn't it RADA, the school where they go to pretend they can act or something like that? This light keeps going funny. Keep touching it. So that FCO 30, I can't remember exactly what that means, or exactly what it relates to on there, but it's about what they did to sign it over into the EEC. So no act and statute, none of them actually have any power whatsoever. So, and it reminds me, because what David was saying, I do like listening to him when I get time. And he was just saying, like, one of the best things to do is to not engage with them. So when these policy enforcement people, and obviously they probably will have, like, bring the police, right? But when they're coming there and saying, right, we want to inspect your home education facility or whatever it was they would do, I don't know. I know that some people hire community centres and they bring more than just their own kids, the groups of kids. They can get visits and everything like that. And he said, just do not engage with them. So you don't engage with them, you don't even talk to them, and you do not give them any information. So, and it just reminds me because when we had like the heavy lockdown, which is the first one, and it snowed up here at Newcastle. And everybody went out to the town moor. Well, not everybody, but hundreds of people went on to the town moor up at Newcastle. And they've got big hills in the town moor. It's right in the centre of Newcastle. It's where they keep cows and everything on there. If you're a free man, the free man of the city, you're allowed to keep your cows on the field. I only know that because of the butcher that told me. But and somebody sent me a clip. So I was like watching this thing, because it probably sent me it because it was in Newcastle. And it was one of the, I don't know what it was, maybe it's an inspector or something, police, officer, one of the clowns in costumes. And he was saying, we're trying to tell them to go away, but they will not engage with us. And I just laughed, and I thought, exactly, if they don't engage with you, or if you don't engage with them, then they can't do anything. So this is just the same, right, as when these agents are coming from the education. Now, we've got to remember, all right, this is the thing, and this is, clowns, they used to be funny. They're even funnier now, but in a nasty way. When you're not engaging with them, then there's nothing they can do. So it's all about fear, okay? Trying to get you to consent to everything through your fear. And that's what the school is anyway. It's about indoctrinating you and making you scared of everything, so you have to stand in line, you have to be quiet, you have to sit down, you have to stand up. Now, remember the registration as well. The registration. Now, what they're doing on the registration, even the teachers probably don't even realize it when they're doing that. They're actually reading out full capital letters, so they can't read it, or they shouldn't be able to read it because it's not English. So they're reading it out there. So, right, Peter Wilson, so in capitals. And you also put in, they're looking at you, right? Can you remember? And you're supposed to say, yes, miss, yes, sir, whatever it is. You're agreeing, you're a person because you're just agreeing to that. That's black magic. Okay, now you don't have to believe in black magic. You don't have to believe in Satanism. You don't have to believe in witchcraft for it to be real. Okay, so the clowns used to be funny, and now they're running the government. But see, the government don't even exist. There's no such thing as a government. There is only a man and a woman who at times acts as a government agent. A man and a woman who at times acts as an HMRC agent. You can't argue with the HMRC. It doesn't exist. Okay? You can't argue with the government. It doesn't exist. There is only a man and a woman, or a man or a woman, that sometimes or at times acts as a government agent. Some at times acts as HMRC agent. At times acts as the education idiot, right? That they're going to come in and give you some hassle. So you're going to notice them. You have to do notices them and put them on notice of your law. Now, this is how we actually do it. You see, you have got to state and you have got to apply your law, which is what a PMA does, which is what a private trust does. Now, again, see, I was like these people asked me to give a bit of information about doing a PMA for education. And one of them was a solicitor, complete acts and statutes freak, did not understand what private meant in any way whatsoever. You state your laws. Your laws are your laws. Doesn't matter what country you're in, USA, Canada, Australia, UK, right? Europe, any country in Europe. You state your laws. On your private trust, you set your trust up under natural law, the law of the creator. So you will follow the natural law. Barristers will describe natural law and say we have to follow natural law. They'll not explain what they mean by that. They do not follow acts and statutes to follow natural law, but they'll not tell you. Okay, so what we have to do is we state our own law, and you tell them. So if there is somebody that's giving you grief from the education, right, because you want to educate your children at home, and they're the Department of Education for the government, then all they are is a man or a woman called Fred Smith or Fredina Smith, all right, who at times acts as a government agent. And we are going to notice you, and we're going to tell you our law. And if you do not follow our law, then we are going to take you to a court at law as a man or a woman, because you are committing a trespass by way of harm. All right. And then it will go up from harm. It will go up to trespass by way of extortion. Okay. Way of harassment. That is what we're going to do. He's saying this is how we have to start acting. They are not allowed to push us around. We are man and woman, and we have to know how to actually deal with these clowns in costumes. All right. Because none of these acts and statutes are real. None of these warrants and all of that nonsense, none of it is real. It's all made up bits of paper. Okay, Fredina, exactly. Fred Smith and Fredina Smith. Frederica, I don't know. All right. So does all of this not put us at risk from the elite? Are we not the elite? I thought we were the elite. Oh, have I got that wrong? I thought they were all scum and we were elite. Oh, nah, we're elite, man. We're the elite. Yeah, we are the elite. We are man, all right, or woman under the Creator. So I showed a while ago, I showed, and I do it on my presentations, and I show the totem pole of life. On the totem pole of life, at the top is the Creator. There is Big Bob. Okay, the Creator is up there, or Bobina, right? So I'm not being sexist. So right underneath the Creator is man and woman. The Creator made man and woman, right? And man and woman were given dominion over the earth. Absolutely nowhere in the Bible does it say, right? And I will just talk about that, their words, right? God created government, and then government, like, we're in charge of man. It doesn't say that anywhere. And whenever you see anything like that, and it shows you, however you pronounce the name, when they actually wrote it. And I know they've hidden most of it, because it really shows you how to fight the maritime law. So when Jesus was talking about walking on the water, he didn't walk on water. What he was doing, he was teaching how to be above the maritime law. When he was bringing people back from the dead, right, he was making them come back from the dead because they were all presumed dead. Right, when he was like giving them sight and bringing their eyes back, he was making them see what is true. He was making them see what you're seeing, and to see what we see, instead of being that now, right? You know, in his time, I don't think they had television. Tell lies to your vision. So they weren't watching TV programs, getting programmed. Okay, so you know Jesus was showing them how to actually be above the maritime law, and how to actually be alive again, and how to see. All right, because it's all just an act. It's all of them are just like they are underneath us. We are at the top. Okay, answer to no one except the Creator, and that's the only one. Whose jurisdiction are we on? Well, the jurisdiction is of the Creator. We write our private trusts. This is the silly thing. This you know, if you have a private trust, right, and then on that private trust, you are saying, well, I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my name on the land registry to it's trustees of the private trust, trustees of Peter's private trust, or whatever it would be. And then if anyone comes back, right, and they say, oh, right, if it's a trust, then you have to declare it with the HMRC. You say, hang on, it's not in their jurisdiction. This is not a statutory trust. This is a common law equity private trust, right? It has no jurisdiction, and they have no jurisdiction over this private trust. Okay, so that's what you tell them, and it's exactly the same. It's private. with the PMA, right? You're setting it up there for education for your own children, or maybe there's a group of you and you've all got your children that you put together in a little group, and someone starts to come and interfere, all right? And Agnes in the office, right? Well, it's a man or a woman who at times acts as a pain in the arse, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to notice the pain in the arse, and we're going to say we were going to hold you, okay, accountable for your actions, because a government, right, is this. Okay, a government is a piece of paper. Any agency is nothing but a piece of paper. A policeman is a uniform. It is a rank. It is not a man. It is a man or a woman who at times acts as a police officer. So we go for it, which is what I'm doing at the minute. Oh my, am I ever doing it? You know, for them police that turned up here, and for them bailiffs that turned up here, and for them Eon mugs that turned up here. Oof, I'm looking forward to that. You know, so what are we up to? How do you access your private trust without access to your living birth? Do you know what I mean by private trust, Martin? When you declare your own private trust and create your own private trust, I'm not on about the set of KV trust. I'm not interested in that. I'm not talking about that. All right. We're talking about you living, being alive, and having a private trust that you will protect your assets with. All right. So this is the thing. When you're doing the private trust, now what we have to do is when we're doing a private trust and you're creating your own private trust, or you get a private trust created, then what you're going to do, right, you can still use the public side. So what you do is you actually get the land registry changed from your name. You only want to try and protect yourself. So at the end of the day, what you're going to do is you're going to claim the land back, because the land is ours. All right. So it shouldn't be on a land registry, because the land was given to us, man and woman, by the Creator. We were given dominion. So we don't need a land registry. Okay. So once we're going to do that, we're going to use the Land Settlement Act. I think it's 1700. I think I've got it written down. Right. And we're going to do land patents and claim the land back from them. So we don't need to worry about that. Then you are literally king of your own, queen of your own land. You are the on the land. We were given of the land, to the land. Okay. So, you know, that, all right, is exactly what we need to do. So you're going to, but at the minute, until you do that first, okay, then, you know, you change the land registry just to stop anybody finding your legal fiction. It's not your name, remember, but you don't want to see your legal fiction. Okay. All right. Yeah. So in reality, you know, when, well, Klausy, Schwausy, Bobby, Schlobby, when he's saying, like, you know, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, we don't really own anything if we follow acts and statutes, because the car, it tells you on the document, I was talking about it today with somebody, it says this does not prove ownership. Yeah, because you only have use of it. You see, right? So you don't ever own the car. And then they say, well, you're a tenant on the land. When you actually look at the land registry, right, even if you've paid your mortgage off, it tells you on the land registry you are a tenant. Well, you know, the thing is, right, fair enough, like I say, get on the private trust, and then you change that so it says trustee of your private trust. So your name, not your name, sorry, your title is not on it. Okay. They'll say it's your name, right? And just in case that, you know, you don't want people coming around the and finding out things, we need to get back to being private. So you have a private, like someone's just popped up Facebook saying hi, that's why I said that. You have a private trust, and you have a private members association if you want it on a commercial level, or even if it's on a private level, just like if you're having an education or anything, you know, like with your children. That's why I had said that. And that's, you know, like I say, have a look at in the what do you call it, in the description, and you'll see like David's book, okay, about like the kids for the education. All right, so like someone's just asking, it's a Facebook user, so we can't see any names. It says, how do you get a leasehold flat into a trust, or at least secured? The thing is, if you were even renting, All right, you can get certain things put into the trust. You have interest, you have equitable interest in the flat or the apartment or whatever that's in, even in a block of flats, right? It's leasehold, and you have like a certain amount of years leasehold. You can put your interest into a trust. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, we all need education, Nick, about how to fight back against this fraudulent system, because everything is fraud. Forgive me. You know, so the two things that if anybody's got any worries about court or any fines and driving and all of that kind of nonsense, yes, you can fight it and say, I wasn't the driver, I'm not a driver, it's like, I wasn't in commerce, blah blah blah, but if you go to a magistrate's court, just say, well, where do you get your authority from? Where do you get your authority from? So you need to let them to tell you where they're getting their authority from. Who says you have authority here? So where do you actually think you're getting your authority from? So they're going to say the Magistrates Act. And if they're saying the Magistrates Act, okay, so I'll tell you what the Magistrates Act, well, but was the Magistrates Act after 1973? And it was. So anything that's an act after it's all acts anyway, but after 1973, none of it stands at all. It's all treason, because Edward Heath, okay, not only was like little boys, but right, what he did is actually put us into ownership with the EEC, all right, or what they call the European Union now. So just say, well, they got no authority, because like since then, anybody that's going to try and claim authority from an act is being treasonous. So, and then where is the equity from this? Are you saying that the court is in equity by what? You're going to fine me with what? The British pound? Okay. Well, if you're going to fine me with the British pound, you're saying that's equity. How can you do that then? Because the pound used to be backed by the dollar, and the dollar used to be backed by gold. So in essence, the pound was backed by gold. However, in 1971, they got rid of the gold standard completely. So the dollar was actually backed by zero, zilch, nothing, absolute fresh air. So which meant in turn, then the pound was worth just exactly the same. All right, big round thing, right? A zero, a zilch, nada, nothing. All right, it is completely based on debt. It's always been a fiat currency, but they at least had it connected to gold. Then they completely made it fiat on 1971. So there is no equity. You cannot pay a debt with a debt. Okay, you cannot pay a debt with a debt. All right, the UCC comes under the House Joint Resolution 192. Dorian, yeah. So they had the House Joint Resolution 192, and that got rid of from there. Basically, you have the UCC. All right, so nothing is worth anything. So, but do this exactly the same thing there. So Nick's saying, like, does anyone have a video on how to behave in court? Don't go to court would be a good one. All right, because that like Halesbury's Laws of England. I've got the book upstairs, massive, big, thick law book. Halesbury's Laws of England. It's actually spelled HAL, not how you would think about it. All right. But Halesbury's Laws of England, and it states there that all of these admin courts are unlawful, and there is nothing that they can do to bring it into law, right? They are purely administration courts, right? And it's just an arrangement between the judiciary and the executive. They cannot be followed. You just do not have. Kate of Gaia, I've read a lot of her stuff, but yeah, there's you do not have to go to court. Yeah, I'm still looking into the 1099. I'm going to finish my forms off in the next couple of days, because I want to. The group that we were doing it with, we're waiting on their results, but I'm going to do mine and send it off. But I'm not going to say too much about that tonight. Okay, so Martin here, he says that my concern is when it is not respected with the private trust that we create, because it isn't here. Because it isn't here. What does that mean? Because it isn't here. How you go about it? So far, did LLC and using UPU as a reference number, since we don't have access to live birth. It's You don't need a live birth rate. You don't need any of that. Okay. Getting paid with your trust. I'm not right. We're talking about a private trust, all right? You're talking about a private trust that you're gonna. A trust is an asset protection tool, and you're going to create it with trustees, a set law, and beneficiaries. All right. You don't need to worry about birth certificates. You don't need to worry about like trying to buy things with your birth certificate or your birth registration. All right. You don't need to do any of that. That someone's just made a comment about a 1099. Check out the 1099 OIDs. All right. Check out the 1099As and the 1099Cs if you want to worry about finance. All right. That's all you need to do. Okay. All right. So the at the end of the day, yeah, I had a right, that's what I was going to say to you, talking about like these agents and everything and these Agneses in the office. I had a right Agnes in the office today. Oh my days. All right. So it's just doing my head in. Every time, do you know what it is, right? You can go and send like £500 or whatever it is to say Betfair or Bet365, any gaming site, any what do you call it, like gambling site, right? Now you're going to lose your money. You're never going to win any money. I used to actually do a lot of trading a few years ago where you would like hedge bets and everything like that. And then most of the time you ended up thinking, God, I spent 2 hours doing that, and I've either not made any money because I did balance it out, right? Or like, oh, I've won a fiver. Like, well, yeah, great, okay. So like, just stop doing it. Couldn't be bothered. But you can go and you can put all your money, take all your money out of your account, and you can go and put it into a gambling site, a casino site, and they'll let you do it. They don't care. They could not give a monkey's starboard testicle, right? But right, I did another transfer into and trying to put it into a crypto exchange so I could actually buy some crypto, and they rang me up and said, "Blah, he had to like check up on here, because we care about you, we care about your." I says, "You don't care about me, I says, "It's got none of your business. It's got nothing to do with you." I said, I've done like, it's only a small transaction. There's only a couple of £100. And like, and it was like, what I'm doing with my money is none of your business. I said, but if it was gambling or anything like that, you wouldn't be asking me these questions. I said, I want you to tell your boss, right, that you're sick of asking these questions because we're sick of answering these answers, giving you this nonsense. And she, and she says, well, you've got money coming in, money going out. What's this money coming in? And I was like, well, again, that's none of your business, and this is, I don't know how old you were. It sounded very young. And they went, well, we're not going to allow you to make these deposits into the crypto. And they know it's crypto. Okay. I've got something to show you, Jay, in a second. And, it took me about like half an hour, and they said, oh, well, we're probably going to like, if you're going to keep doing this, we're going to close your account. And I went, doesn't matter. I've already got another account. Okay. So we now, by the way, just so you do know that we actually have private trusts for a bank account, or a bank account for private trusts, and a bank account for PMAs. We've got them already. There's a few of us now got them. They're up and running. All right. We're having transactions happening and everything's working. Okay. I've never known another group in the UK that's been able to do that. Okay. Never. So like, but I'm the only way, if I do a private trust for someone, then I'll tell you the bank account. If we do a PMA for someone, I'll tell you the bank account. I can't tell it publicly because they would get flooded with loads of applications, and they would probably close it down. All right. And it's all run basically on a private basis, so the and it's up and running now, and we've had like 2 that we've got, mine, and also for like another guy, I set his up before mine. I set his PMA up for him, and then we got his bank account. So now we've got private trust bank accounts and also PMA bank accounts. Okay. So we can move away. But Jay was just talking about, like, you know, and again, I was speaking to this girl from Australia, and they have never had a bank for years. They do everything through crypto. Everything. They have a, you know, what are they called? The debit cards, but it's tied to crypto. All of that, okay? I don't trust any banks at all, Jay. Not one tiny little bit. Which is why we want to get more into decentralized finance, which is why we want to get into the cold wallets, like you just said. All right, which is like a Ledger Nano X. A Ledger Nano X. All right. So you wanted to get into more of that. This is a cold wallet, and you can keep your crypto onto the cold wallet Ledger. Yeah. And you can also have what they call a billfold. A billfold. Look, I just got this today. All right. So what you do is you actually have your keys. Okay. Now you have your keys and you store it. You know, so you can put all of your crypto. All right. Well, you know, there's loads of different opinions about crypto, but I'll tell you what it is. I had a couple of people that said, "Oh, like I've cashed in my pension and it's sitting all in the bank now, hundreds of thousands of pounds." They're going to do a bail-in, and it's not that far off. They did it already to the you know, the bank up here, the Northern Rock. Boom, and it's gone. You can't trust a bank, right, Jack? Right? When you need to do some studying on banks, and you need to do some studying on crypto on deposits. When you put money in a bank, be it paid from your employer into a bank account for your wages, or you put it in there, a deposit, there is no lawful meaning of a deposit, right? All it is it goes in there, and then you've given that money to the bank, and they legally do not have to give you it back. Now, when they do a bail-in, they can take everything. All right, they can just take it. Okay, and it's up to them, right, if they'll give you anything. There is absolutely no value in fiat currency. It is fake. If you look on the Black's Law Dictionary, fiat means fake. All you have is fiat currency, and it's fake, and it's in a bank. Banks, you know, they steal off you every single day. The only thing that I 100% do not trust is any bank, right? I would listen to a clown in a costume before I would listen to a bank, and I would never trust a bank, or I would never trust a clown in a costume, right? But I would trust a clown before I would trust a bank. Right? I'm not talking about, like, you know, the bank teller who sits there talking to you. You know, well, they don't have branches really now, do they? All right, but you, like, fiat currency is going to disappear very soon. Okay, fiat currency is going to be gone. Right, so there will not be any fiat currency, and probably there's not going to be any what you would call cash, but it's not even cash. It's not. It's still a promissory note, isn't it? Because it's got written on, "I promise to pay." All right, so you can actually, my mate who actually helped me set up my first set of wallets and everything like that. He bought his house with crypto, and there is a massive amount going on behind the scenes now that you are going to see massive changes where crypto is going to start getting used more and more and more. So crash April 2023, Jay says, "Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if it was next week." All right, they're lining things up. You know, everyone thinks all these things, crazy things happening. BSV is absolutely, stay away from BSV. Don't go near it with a barge pole. Okay, don't go anywhere near it with a barge pole. But all these things that are happening, so they blow up the Nord pipeline of gas, you know, and then this idiot, like, call her Mary, well, she calls herself Liz, but Mary, right? And she's completely wrecking, like, the country. You know, this is all happening on purpose, you know, so, like, they're trying to actually get everything crashed, you know, and completely ruin everything. And, you know, what we need to do is, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes with the SEC and Ripple court case, where the SEC are actually being torn to shreds. Okay. Now, what will happen is like this is going to change all of the transactions that are being made across the planet. And you also have to look at the BRICS alliance. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And they are getting joined by many other countries now. I don't believe that the UK joined them. Somebody was saying that before. Don't believe that at all. But you know, and it's going to change the way that this transactions across the world happen. But the thing is, right, you can be on the right side or the wrong side. Now, if you actually get yourself some of this Ripple, right, which is the XRP. Now, even if half of what they said was true, and that actually did go where half of where they're going to say, if you had just even 1,000 XRPs, right, then you could be looked after very, very well. So someone just said that that crypto is a Ponzi scheme or something like that, or a pyramid scheme. Like, the biggest Ponzi scheme in the whole existence is the fiat currency, right? Now, what they're doing, this quantitative easing that the central banks are doing, which are all privately owned, by the way. It's got Bank of England is not English. It's not owned by the government. It's not run by the government. It's completely independent. It's completely privately owned and has shareholders. The Federal Reserve in the United States, it has shareholders. It is not federal. It's not from the government, right? It's privately owned by the same people, right, that own the Bank of England. And that is the massive Ponzi scheme. That is just like ridiculous. They're pumping out all this cash, right? So they told everybody, stay at home, get a hot tub, get pissed in the hot tub, right? And we'll just pay you, right? They're printing. Even though it's just electronic, it's still flooding. It's called quantitative easing. It's flooding the world with this fiat currency. So that's why you have this enormous fiat current. What do you call it now? The inflation. All right, so you're having huge inflation flying through the roof because of what they've done, and they're doing it on purpose. So it's getting less and less and less valuable. That is a Ponzi scheme. All right, that is a pyramid scheme. That is about to collapse. It could even be any day. Hopefully, it'll not be until April next year, like Jay said. Hopefully, right? But you know what? I would never go and say, look, if you've only got £1,000, go and stick £1,000 in XRP or something like that. But what I would say is, right, don't leave your money in a bank, because that can be literally disappeared in a split second. That woman told me today, I'm going to close your bank account. Like, who are you? Because I'm not going to tell you what cryptos I want to buy. Are you mad? Right? So luckily, I'm going to move everything away from that bank. And, you know, it's not that it matters to them. I said, like, I'm going to be gone from this bank tomorrow, which I won't be because it's Saturday. But, you know, it's just ridiculous. But when you're going in there, right, so even if half of what they said come true, it would be amazing. So I would be looking at, if you've got even just £100, buy £100 worth of XRP, XLM, XDC. I think someone just said that. Yeah, XDC, someone set up their XLM, I think Jay might have said, you know. Forget about deep state. Look, it's all deep state. Everything's deep state, right? But like some things, the banks are deep state. The banks are owned by deep state. Fiat currency, the pound, is owned and manipulated by deep state. All right. So yeah, check out Rice TV. I've done a couple of interviews with Rice TV. You know, good guy, like him a lot, and he really explains crypto as well. Okay, he's very good. But like, you know, and also I was listening to Mike Maloney. Have you ever heard of Mike Maloney? Check him out as well. Mike Maloney, gold and silver. So I would say, like, you know, get gold and silver. He believes gold and silver are going to fly up like that. He's looking at it and through historical eyes as well, and he believes that it's going to fly up as well. So we've got silver, we've got gold. I've got physical. I don't buy it and have it kept in some vault somewhere else, you know. But buy physical gold, buy physical silver. So you have a little bit of everything. Yes, you have to leave like a little bit of cash in your bank. You got to make sure that it flows like that. All right, but buy a little bit of everything. So like buy a little bit of crypto. What if it was true and then you ended up being a millionaire? I don't think you'd be complaining. You don't need to go and what do you call it? Spend all your money on it. Just buy little bits of everything. So you have a little bit of, what do you call it? A little bit of cash left over. So buy a little bit of silver, buy a little bit of gold, buy a little bit of crypto, get XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Quant, okay? Things like that. Algorand, ADA, all right? Cardano, right? Look at them, okay? Diversity, Jack, exactly. So you're spreading it out everywhere, because I tell you what it is, what will happen, right? Hopefully you're listening on here, everyone's going to be sitting there one day and they're going to be thinking, right, I'm getting paid tomorrow. Everything's going to be fine. I'll get paid tomorrow. It'll be enough there. I'm going to buy. And they're going to shut the banks. And they're going to shut the banks. Now, like the vast majority of people are going to literally sit there and they're going to be wiped out. There's going to be no money, right? So they're going to go in there and they're going to say, right, okay, where's my wages? And the banks are shut. The credit cards are not working. The debit cards are not working. The going in, like with going to try and get anything out of a machine doesn't work, right? And the banks have all shut the doors and they can't get in. They're going online banking, it's closed, right? Everything's down, and it will happen. And then when it happens, right, and they're going to go, I haven't got anything. All of these people will have nothing, okay? Absolutely nothing. So yes, Nosy Parker, right? You definitely have to hedge your bets. You have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit there. Even have a little bit of cash, right? Because once a bank, you might be able to still spend the cash for a while before they completely pull the rug from under the fiat currency, right? But the banks will just go and they will take everything. Okay, they will take everything. So there's a few banks actually. Martin's just saying they got community bank and localized the economy done in Bristol. There's actually quite a lot of that happening in Germany as well. I was listening to this professor, can't remember his name, and he tells you exactly how money's created. Right, the credit fraud. It's all credit. It's all fraudulently done. When you sign what you think is a mortgage application or a loan application, it's a promissory note, and they go and sell it. Okay, and Hammerwell. Hopefully not, but you can see it because people, they are sheeple, and they go from literally from month to month or week to week, and they are completely televised television based on if you ever seen that movie, I think it's called either They Say or We Say or something like that, and it's the old wrestler. He was a wrestler back in the day, and he puts the sunglasses on and he can see it all. He can see, obey, all right, stuff like that. You can buy what they call scrap silver, Jay, and on scrap silver there's no VAT. And it's I don't know what they call it that. I don't really know, but it's like kind of like second hand, But BSV is BSV. When you hear them and they say, "What coin's this? What coin's that?" and it's like saying, "Oh, it's a shit coin." BSV is a shit coin. All right, don't go near it. Yeah, second-hand silver or scrap silver, they call it. It's got no VAT. So buy it second-hand, Definitely buy silver, look, because this guy, Mike Maloney, go and have a look at him. He runs his channel. He sells gold and silver. He's a bullion dealer, all right? He's in America. He does weekly videos. I watch him all the time. And, he's just got a book out. I think it's coming out very soon. And, but he gives good, and he interviews a lot of people as well, and he says silver's going to fly even more than gold. And he's been basically working with silver like all of his adult life. That's all he's ever done. BSV is not the real Bitcoin. That is absolute bullshit. Okay. It is fake. All right. So don't go near BSV. Like, stay away from it. I mean, like I just said, if you want to get into a bit of crypto, then look at XRP, XLM, XDC, ADA. All right, Algorand, HBAR. They're the ones that have got a good chance of really doing something. And the Ripple ledger account, that apparently is going to be the one that will actually do the transactions worldwide, so that I could actually end up being very, very, very valuable, or anything tied to it. It's all tied to this similar network, what I'm talking about there. And I'm no expert at anything. I'm just trying to learn a little bit, but still, I buy silver, I buy gold, and I buy a little bit of crypto. And that's what we do. We actually we put them on cold wallets as well. Okay. All right. That's what you put your crypto on, your cold wallet. And then you have your keys, and you can actually get this, what's called the billfold. Try to stop it shining on the light. All right. And on the billfold, what you do is, because you get your keys, and your keys give you the security. So you can, like, these are little A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you can put literally, that's bloody heavy. And so you push them out, boom, push them out, and then you put your keys in there, and then you can hide it. Because if you've got them written down, right, you get your 12 or 24 words for your keys, and then you get flooded, right? Or you drop it in the sink, right? Or you forget you got it in your pocket and you go and have a shower with your clothes on or something daft like that. Then you've got them there, okay? And you're not going to lose them. All right. Ow. Yeah, physically hold your silver and gold. Don't ever allow it to be kept somewhere else. And like I said, these people, I was talking to this Australian girl, and hopefully I'm going to be back talking to them again soon. And they've been living with everything is what do you call it? Crypto. They've been living off crypto, got no bank account whatsoever, and they have a debit card tied to crypto, and it turns it into, like, when they need to buy things from doing the local economy, going to the shop, going to the restaurant, going to the supermarket, and they use the debit card that's tied to crypto. Okay. So I actually buy crypto from a couple of different sources. One of them is crypto.com. That's the main one I do, to be honest. What's the other one? I've got it on my phone somewhere. Hang on. Right, let's have a look. It's called Uphold. 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 But you never you never leave any money or any coins on these exchanges, by the way. You always put them on your own wallet, be it a wallet on here. And these people from Australia, by the way, this couple, their phones are decentralized phones, right? Completely unhackable, untraceable phones, right? Decentralized phones. They're using decentralized crypto, so they haven't got a bank because they are their own bank. Okay. So that's where we need to get going. That's why I'm trying to follow them. That's why I'm trying to learn more. All right. So they're, right. But the thing is, right, Martin, you're saying don't gamble. This is not about gambling, right? What I'm saying is where to actually put things. So, never spend any money that you haven't got. Never spend any, anything on anything whatsoever. Like even gold and silver, to a degree, you could say it's gambling because it might all collapse. And then, but right, okay, that's a good idea. George has just said, George and Nada, I presume, he just said store your cold wallet. That's a cold wallet. All right. And then you can put your cryptos on there. And he says, put it in a Faraday bag as well. All right. All right. But when is the power going to go out completely so that nothing works whatsoever? They're going to start doing power cuts over the winter. They really are. They're going to make you so cold and miserable. But when's it going to go out forever? It's not going to go out forever, you know, because they need power. The ones that are running the power need the power, you know. The credit union, as in, like, you know, the difference from the bank. Is that what you mean? I mean, they're going to have to go on. Digital currency is going to come. Digital currency is going to happen. Don't think that we're not going to get digital currency. What we're hoping is that we can move on to the decentralized side there, right? So that we don't end up like with all of this craziness. You know, like, yeah, what do you call it? The credit system that they have. Yeah. So, you know, digital currency is going to come. So even if like digital currency comes, then these credit unions, will be able to use the digital currency. Okay. So I should make Peter coins. Yeah, I should do that. You know. So, you know, but well, the power can definitely go out on May 15th, 2040. All right. Because, like, I don't think I could be bothered by then anyway. A lot of times I can't really be bothered now, you know. But yeah, definitely physical gold, physical silver, keep a hold of that. And you got to remember as well, you know, like at the end of the day, what if everything did collapse, right? Now, I've heard people saying, oh, look, all them stupid people. They call me stupid. I get called stupid off people all the time. And then they're trying to just do something different, you know what I mean? I could not care less. I really don't care. But, you know, and saying don't buy gold and silver, you're stupid. What is going to happen? Right? If all that we ever had was gold and silver, what do you think you're going to be able to trade with to go and buy some food? All right, from a farmer, say, for instance, who had food. Okay. And all it was gold and silver. I got coins. I got silver coins. Okay. So, yeah. That's what I think you should do. Just like, you know, and what you should be doing is trying to get yourself as much off grid as possible. So, you know, I've got a fire pit and I've got a kettle. Someone just said a kettle. I don't know what that is, but you know, when you can put it on the fire. I've got one of them. I've got a grill that you can do it on a fire, and you're just going to burn wood outside, you know. And community is everything, and that's why you need a PMA to try and protect the community, to stop people. And that's why we need to start not only teaching the kids to grow food, but teaching ourselves to grow food. All right, and then everybody, you know, has to try and work together. Yes, and that's what we have to do. This is why I'm here, which is what we're trying to do. You know, so I'm not an expert at this stuff or anything like that, but I'll tell you little bits. I'm not an expert at gold, but if you want to listen to an expert at gold and silver, go listen to that Mike Maloney. I've just told you there, you know, and then he's like giving you these good hints with like the gold and silver. All right. So, you know, and then listen to like Rice TV about like your crypto or the crypto vigilante, and you know, and they'll tell you little bits about that and learn how to do that and learn about like the pirate coins and the Monero, which are like the decentralized things that in a wave, and learn about decentralized banking, because that's where we need to go so that you can do what you want. All right. And everything, yeah, dime ball. That's why I want to farm mushrooms, because I love mushrooms. Okay. So, and that's it. Okay. So I think I'll have to shoot off very soon. Silver and gold, but definitely buy silver and gold. I mean, there's a few different places because of my privacy setup, right? I can't buy it from, say, like bullion.co.uk, it might be called, or goldandsilver.co.uk. I can't buy it from them, so I have to buy it from a local dealer, because you know, everything's. I'm not registered anywhere, you know. Yeah, colloidal silver. We have colloidal silver all the time. drink colloidal. Well, don't drink it out of a bottle, but mix it with water, colloidal silver. If you have injuries, you can wash with colloidal silver. It actually gets rid of a lot of things, cures cancer, you know, which a lot of things do. Okay, so yeah, well, I'll buy gold and silver. Well, silver I buy now, not gold, but like just locally. That's what I do. Just down in Newcastle. All right. Okay. So then, I mean, I think we've covered quite a lot there. But that's that thing. Look, see, it's the Ledger Nano X, and you know, you get your Nano and then your Ledger, and you keep your cryptos like on there. Like, say, don't go and spend all your money on it or anything like that, you know. But like, you know, get a little bit of silver, right? Then keep a little bit in the bank, keep a little bit of cash, and buy a little bit of crypto, spreading it all out there. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, even if you like eggs or don't like eggs, but certainly don't keep them all in one basket. And try and protect yourself as much as possible. And while we're in the middle of doing this transition, because it is a transition, then we should be doing, like, you know, making yourself private, putting yourself in a private trust, creating private trusts and PMAs, especially if you're doing community projects for education for the children or for food, like having your own little mini farms and stuff like that, working as communities. Needs to be set up as a PMA and protect it. Then, like, you know, if you you can also get your community banking, right? So it's separate from your bank account. One reason why I'm saying that is that I knew someone who was trying to create a community, and he put all the money from it where they actually deposited money with him to buy land, and it all got put into his account, and it was nearly $500,000, he said, at one point, and the bank took it. You know, what are you doing, a bricklayer, and you got $500,000? I'm saying a bricklayer, I don't know what he did, but you know, you're just like run-of-the-mill guy, and all of a sudden you got $500,000 in there. Where'd that come from? And they took it. The bank took it. So if it's in a PMA and it's a private in a PMA bank account, right, which we've got now, then you explained what it's for, and you tell them what it's for, and it's set up like a charity. These people are investing, so they're all going to get their own bit of land, and then there you go. It's protected. Okay, so I think we're going to have to shoot off because look, it definitely look, my magic glasses ran out. But seriously, you know, PMAs aren't available in all countries, really. And I like explain why and where they wouldn't be available. Okay, so because I've got people that have got PMAs in loads of different countries, and there's only the jurisdictions you got in the countries. You've got common law jurisdiction and civil law jurisdiction, and I know people that have got PMAs in common law jurisdiction and on a civil law jurisdiction. Okay, places even like Peru. You know, when you do anything wrong in Peru, they shoot you, then ask questions. So yeah, you got PMAs in Spain, civil law. Spain is civil law jurisdiction. It's not common law. Same as Greece, same as Portugal, a lot of France, a lot of them, they're civil law. Then you got PMAs. All right, tell me a single place. If you've got a lawyer, right, in any country, they're sworn to the bar, which means they're part of a PMA. Now, if they can have a PMA, everyone can have a PMA. All right. Okay. CDS, we use CDS as well. I like that as well. Okay. Yes, you can set a PMA up yourself. It's actually, we have the paperwork in in my PMA. All right. So the thing is, right, you can have whatever you want, and you can have the bit of paper saying that I am a sovereign, I am a man, I am this, right? There's only you can stand on anything. There's only you can say what you are. So you have the authority under the creator. Now, you can either stand on it and explain it to a clown in a costume, or you can't. Right? It's up to you. So you can actually have like the cojones to stand there and go, look, I am this. And that's it. Okay. Now, if you haven't got it and you can't explain it, then it doesn't matter what you have, right? You're never going to have anything. Okay. So, you know, they're going to take anything away from you if you allow them to take it away from you. And that's all there is to you. Yeah, the dog's barking like mad. That's the old one. We've got to like what she fell down the stairs the other day. She didn't fall down the stairs. She was just about to walk down the stairs, and the little dog that chewed my hand up and put me in hospital went wah, 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 like that, right? And she got a fright or something. She honestly, luckily, we had a bed at the bottom of the stairs. She was only about 2 or 3 steps down, and she flew down the stairs and she hit. Luckily, the bed and the bed slid away with her on the bed. Oh my God, how are you alive? You know? Oh, shh. I don't know, man. Okay. I'm going to go and see the barky dog anyway. She might want out. She's very old and she can't walk very well. So she might end up like having a crap on the bed if I don't get her out. So I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot, people. Take care. All right. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and have a rest of a strong end to the strong days that we've just had. We don't have weak of anything because we are strong man, strong woman. And I am going to go and sort this Keegan, she's called. Okay, take her out. She probably needs to go out for a bit. Hopefully. All right. So take care. All right. Very good to see you all here on a Friday night. I'll go and look after my my little fur baby upstairs and see what she's wanting. All right. So take care. This will all be recorded and going up onto YouTube. Okay. See you all there. All right. Have a good evening. Have a good evening. See you in a bit. I'll go and help my little baby. Where is the end broadcast?